Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into something that is literally reshaping our entire world right now. The explosion of generative AI isn't just some passing tech trend, It's forcing a complete ground-up reimagining of higher education all over the globe. We're looking at a landscape where the skills we need to stay relevant are changing way faster than a traditional four-year degree can possibly keep up with. It puts enormous pressure on our educational foundations and really on anyone who is currently in the workforce. So if you've been wondering how your own career path is going to survive the next 5 years, well, this is exactly what we need to get into today.
It really is the ultimate question as we navigate this rapidly shifting global workforce. Is higher ed actually ready? And to be brutally honest, the data strongly suggests traditional systems are struggling. The digital transformation brought on by artificial intelligence isn't just about, updating a few textbooks or throwing a smartboard in a classroom. It's demanding a totally new approach to how we prepare human beings for the jobs of tomorrow. Just to give you a sense of the sheer scale of this disruption, let's look at the online learning platform Coursera. According to their latest trends report, generative AI course enrollments have skyrocketed 12-fold from 2023 to early 2025. A 12-fold jump in just 2 years. That's over 8 million learners globally rushing to upskill themselves. I mean, that's like the population of a small country suddenly deciding they need to go back to school. It clearly shows a massive, urgent hunger for AI literacy. And it's a hunger that traditional, slower-moving institutions simply aren't fulfilling fast enough. People are actively seeking out these skills on their own because the traditional market is seriously lagging behind. Okay, let's jump right into Section 1, the Gen AI disruption, and see exactly how this is reshaping labor markets worldwide. We're looking at a huge mismatch right now. On one side, we have this absolutely surging demand for AI skills. It's no longer a niche requirement just for software engineers, right? These competencies are now essential across general business, marketing, and even teaching. But stacked up against that massive demand, we have a severely lagging supply. Even though the number of IT graduates has grown globally, the output of traditional universities remains entirely insufficient to meet this surging real-time demand. The industry's out there shouting for a workforce that, frankly, simply hasn't been trained yet. And that tension between demand and supply brings us to part 2, the digital skills gap, which is a structural problem we really need to unpack. Because when you map this problem out globally, the stark divide becomes, well, it's pretty alarming. Data from the World Bank reveals a massive chasm. In low-income countries, less than 5% of the population possesses even basic digital skills. Now compare that to 66% in high-income nations. It's a massive disparity, and it threatens to leave entire populations completely behind as global AI adoption just accelerates. We aren't just talking about a tech gap here. We're talking about a fundamental divide in economic opportunity.
So, how do we navigate this? The World Bank identifies 3 essential tiers of skills that are needed today. First, you need basic digital skills. That's just the foundational literacy for using consumer-facing tools like ChatGPT. Next, you have intermediate skills, which are required for actually embedding AI into professional workflows to boost your productivity. And finally, advanced skills, which involve highly specialized expertise for developing and customizing completely new AI models. It's definitely worth asking yourself which tier you currently fall into, because moving up this ladder is rapidly becoming the absolute baseline for career security. Which leads us perfectly into Section 3, Higher Ed's Adaptation Crisis. Why are traditional institutions struggling so much to provide these skills? Well, the data shows universities are facing some massive systemic hurdles. First off, there's a severe faculty brain drain. Top academic talent is leaving for much more lucrative tech industry roles, which makes it incredibly hard to actually find people to teach this stuff. Then you have the staggering computing costs required to run modern AI models. And finally, there's the red tape of completely outdated curricula. Get this, a recent survey found that 40% of African universities haven't updated their IT curricula in over 5 years. Think about that for a second. In the AI era, where technology shifts every few months, a 5-year-old curriculum might as well be from the Stone Age. To adapt to this crisis, we're seeing a really necessary shift toward agile applied learning models. These are known as TVET programs, Technical and Vocational Education and Training. These programs are explicitly designed to bypass all that slow-moving academic bureaucracy and directly meet the immediate, real-world demands of the labor market. It's highly practical, fast-paced occupational training. A fantastic real-world example of this adaptation in action is Bahrain Polytechnic. It's a government-owned institute designed specifically to deliver technical, skills-based training, completely bypassing traditional academic red tape. Established by royal decree, it aligns directly with the country's Vision 2030 master plan for a sustainable economy. It's a perfect showcase of how governments can proactively engineer institutions that adapt directly to industry needs, rather than just sitting around waiting for four-year colleges to catch up.
Moving right along to Section 4, Redefining AI Literacy. Beyond just occupational training, what exactly do we need to be teaching right now?
Well, according to the Oh My Box framework on AI literacy, getting up to speed isn't just about learning to code. True AI literacy requires a really balanced blend of three pillars. Yes, you absolutely need technical skills to master the tools, but equally important, you need ethical skills to understand things like algorithmic biases and privacy. And finally, you need incredibly sharp critical thinking to question the results and evaluate the broader societal impact of what you're actually building. It's a well-rounded approach that prevents us from just blindly trusting whatever the AI spits out at us.
And this blends perfectly into what researchers call computational thinking. It's a fascinating framework that trains humans to approach problems so logically that machines can effectively assist them. It starts with decomposition, taking massive problems and breaking them into bite-sized tasks. Then, identifying patterns, utilizing abstraction to ignore irrelevant details, and finally, applying algorithmic logic to solve the core issue. You're basically learning to speak the machine's language so you can direct it effectively. The core philosophy here is captured beautifully in this idea. Individuals must be taught to question the data. We have to be able to navigate the black box decisions that these incredibly powerful algorithms are making every day. If we just accept AI outputs blindly without understanding the underlying logic, the social implications, and the potential biases, we aren't truly literate in the technology. We're just passive consumers of it. Being literate means being in the driver's seat. Now, that brings us to our final section, and honestly, the ultimate twist in this whole AI-era narrative. Section 5, the human advantage.
Looking at data from the World Economic Forum, you can literally see the human-machine frontier shifting in real time. Every single job is being broken down into individual tasks, those completed predominantly by people, those done by technology, or a hybrid of both. This massive shift forces us to ask a really critical question. Where do human workers actually add the most value now that machines can handle all the heavy technical lifting?
And this brings us to one of the most fascinating and perhaps reassuring insights out there. When projecting the fastest growing skills needed for 2030, yes, AI and big data take the #1 spot. That's no surprise. But ironically, they are immediately followed by purely human attributes: analytical thinking, resilience, flexibility, and agility. The very things that make us fundamentally human are actually becoming our most valuable professional assets. The crucial takeaway here is understanding the difference between vulnerable and durable skills. In an era of such rapid technological change, highly specialized technical skills, manual dexterity, and rote mathematics are actually extremely vulnerable to obsolescence. They expire fast. So what survives? Durable skills, transversal, soft skills like critical thinking, intellectual curiosity, adaptability, and teamwork. These remain totally irreplaceable and highly transferable across absolutely any role or industry you might step into. This leads perfectly to my favorite takeaway from the World Economic Forum report. The goal of modern education isn't to create workers that compete head-to-head with machines. That's just a losing battle. The goal is to augment human capabilities through collaboration. Let the technology handle the massive processing power and the repetitive tasks, while we humans provide the nuanced context, the ethics, and the strategic direction. It's a partnership. Which leaves me with a thought I really want you to consider. In a world where machines increasingly have all the answers, the future of education isn't just about learning to code. It's about learning to ask the right questions. As technical tasks continue to be automated away, how are you adapting your own unique human advantage for the workforce of 2030? Thank you so much for exploring this vital topic with me today on This Explainer. I'll see you next time.